and welcome to The Balance of Life. I am Pastor Angel Ferguson, and I thank you so very much for joining us today. Truly, this is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. It is always our honor and our pleasure to come and spend some time with you in the Word of God, and we are so excited about what we're going to share with you today. About a month ago, we had this awesome woman of God. She is a author. She is a entrepreneur to come and share with us about her books. And today she's going to share about her journey in being a published author, the road to it, the hiccups, the highs, the lows. We're going to get really into the realistic part of being a published author. So help me welcome author and entrepreneur Cynthia Gadson. Welcome, Cynthia.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be here once again.
You are most definitely welcome, and this time I know that you have been busy. You're also in the public school system as a teacher, and although it's summertime, schools out in Tampa and Hillsborough County, it's actually summer school time. And you are partaking in that as well. So I understand that you have a busy schedule, plus balancing being a author who has extended that into entrepreneurship. And so we're going to talk about that today. I really love to give authors, new authors, or even existing authors, the reality of the highs and lows of becoming a author. But I think it's so important to hear it from another author. So that's what I would like for you to share with us today. Tell us your experience with this journey.
Oh, yes, ma'am. There are highs and lows of becoming an author, but what we can focus on is that there are milestones that we can accomplish. You know, you're going to go through some trials and tribulations. You're going to explore the journey of becoming an author. You're going to find a lot of hiccups. You're going to find a lot of things that's, favorable. But just know that there will be obstacles, and you have to weigh out your situation. Take your journey gently, calmly, and with precision, as in ask many questions, talk to several different publishing companies, and then make some informed decision on the information that you gain, because that journey is a journey within itself.
It really is. Have you found in this journey the differing of information that you have received from publishers?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Sure have. That's why I really do recommend, new authors to just explore their options before diving in, making any down payment, making any decision on who they're going to go with, because a lot of different publishing companies offer different things. Some are legit and some are not legit. So you have to know that too, because there are scammers out there as well as legitimate companies. So you're going to have to be able to discern. That's where prayer come in. Pray, discern, ask questions, get guidance from your belief, God, of course, and make some informed decision based on all the information you gather. Because yes, there are many obstacles out there, and there are many opportunities. And then you have to know what direction you want to go. You have to fine tune your direction, because it's like, say, your hair. If you have it in a ponytail and the ponytail is entangled, entwined, you got a lot of split ends that could come. A lot of different directions your hair can go, but you want that hair nice, smooth, and straight. You want some type of leeway into what direction you want the hair to go. That's what we want to do as an author. We need to know what direction we need to go. So you have to ask yourself questions as well as ask others. What do I want out of this? What am I looking to gain? What do I want my final outcome to be? And what I want my milestone to be? Things like that.
It is so funny that you mentioned needing to know the direction. And I'm saying that because uh, on a recent Bible study where teaching on asking for guidance and instructions. One of the scripture texts, and I'm going to pull it up. That's what I'm laughing.
Mm-hmm.
Over in the book of Ezra, in the 21st chapter, where he instructs, there's an instruction for guidance to go into prayer. And here it's being said so that we know the right way for us, and that's Ezra 8:21. It says, "Then I proclaimed a fast there at the river of Ava, that we might afflict ourselves before our God to seek of him a right way for us and for our little ones and for all our substance." So you know that one of our scriptures that we stand firm on, "In all thy ways acknowledge him and he will direct thy paths." Well, you're saying the same thing when it comes to your journey in publishing. You're acknowledging him concerning this path, and you are looking for the right direction to go into. Finding out I'm going to say this, the tares from the wheat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I understand.
Yeah, so that's very, very good advice of asking questions. Have you found that some have been evasive with answering some of your questions?
Well, tell you the truth, they actually love to answer questions because they want your business. So it's a matter of what are they telling you and will they stand by what they're telling you. So you do want documentations of everything that they're going to offer to you for the funds that you are willing to pay for their services. So they will answer your question. And what I found also is that they will answer your question like straightforward, constantly, persistently. Matter of fact, they may call you to ask you questions and then answer questions for you. Because before you make a down payment, they're going to be so much in tune with you, so many calls, so much there for them to offer you. But once you make that down payment, you got to pay attention to this. If they're kind of scarce, if they don't want to answer their phone calls, if they don't want to return your phone calls, you want to be weary of businesses like that, because that happens also. Once they get your money, they may disappear. Some of them are like that. Or limit their time they spend with you, because now they're trying to get money from other people. And that's not right nor fair to the author. If you go into business with them, you expect to have that same due diligence that you did when you first started talking to them and they were in tune with you. You want that same thing once you make a down payment, or even if you made the final payment. You want the same type of respect as a person who's a client to them, a customer to them. You want them to serve you. You're paying for that.
I think that's so important. And to me, there's a difference in the level of how you answer a question. Is your answer a sales pitch, or are you educating me along the way?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And that's why I said it is very good. It's a good strategy to talk to several different companies just to see what they would say. And then, you take notes, write down information, have them to send you documentations and paperwork and anything that they have pertaining to their services. Because then you can, like I said, gather more data, information, and make some informed decision. See, I like talking with a publishing company like your publishing company, because you will be straightforward. You'll give the ins and outs, and you're not looking for anything back from the author. You feel you're not losing anything giving information, and that is vital. You want to do business with people like that, because they're going to be honest with you. They're going to be fair with you, and I think a lot of that has to do with your beliefs and who you are, and that's what authors need to look at. What type of company is this? What type of business is this? What are the characteristics of these people that are supposed to be serving me or giving me service? So that's very important. It's very vital, especially if you're a believer. You got to be wise in your decision making. Otherwise, they can take you.
Yes, 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 you're absolutely right. And I just find it, to me, it's so much easier to educate along the way, um, because it's room out here for all of us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I went the route of self-publishing before I went into publishing. So I had offers, when I would post poetry on different poetry sites and stuff like that. But I really wanted to, I think that's that part of me. I wanted to do some homework first and learn about it and then make a decision, on what I was going to do. I recently, over the past year or so, I have one company, they always seem to target this one particular workbook, Growing Under Spiritual Maturity, which is something that we have for the College of Ministry. And I get offers. They see me as the author, but they don't recognize they're talking to the same person who published it. They they see Angel Ferguson as the author, but not realizing that it's published under Angel Ferguson Ministries, and they're not connecting the two. And so, with all of these sales pitches, and I let them go on with all the hype, and then I say, I'm actually a publisher, and that kind of severs the conversation. But
see, that's a prime example right there. They are looking at the knowledge you have, and they know new authors coming in. We may be a little green under the belt, and they feel they can take advantage of that. Now, deciphering between the two of Angel Ferguson and Angel Ferguson Publishing Company, there's a difference. They'll know with the publishing company, you have knowledge in what they're trying to offer, what they're trying to say, and what they're trying to sell to you, versus just you being an author, a self-published author. And on top of that,
yes,
so they do target self-published authors.
They do. I was actually looking at some reviews, and I won't say the publishing company's name, but one of the complaints were, and here's the terminology, and I'm quite sure you've come across this as well. No publisher, and I'm putting this out there, no publisher can make the absolute promise that they will get your book into a bookstore. Do you know? Not. I'm going to tell you why. You can present it to a bookstore. It's up to the bookstore to decide if that book will sell in their area to their audience.
Right.
So that was one of the complaints for someone who did business with a particular publishing company. They felt they were promised that their books would get into the bookstore.
And that's when you have to look at what document they sent to them, because usually they do put that in there. They do put that part in there about they can't guarantee it, because they know they can't guarantee it.
Right. And this person they actually wrote that was something they were promised. And so you have to watch the terminology. If it says we will submit, then that's what they're doing. They're submitting. There is no guarantee. Here's something else that I absolutely do with all individuals that we do business with. I make sure that I put the power of the advertisement of an author's book back into their hands. No one can speak and talk more profoundly and promote you than you. And so sometimes we relinquish that power and we don't like the results. Well, if I won't buy it, well, I want to sell it to somebody else. And so someone said to me once before, and at the time I was totally green, but I caught it afterwards. He said, I can sell your book better than you can. Well, at the time, I thought that sounded good. I'm going to be honest with you. I was like, oh, he knew what he was talking about. He quickly corrected me and said, that should not be. How can I sell your product better than you and you wrote it? You are your first partaker. You are your best cheerleader. You are your hugest supporter.
And you know, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And you are also the one who can pull you down the quickest. Now go ahead.
Yeah, I was thinking when you said that, the terminology again. It depends on how they said that to you and presented it, because with marketing, let's talk a little bit about marketing. They will be more in the expertise area of how to market your book. And you're correct with your statement about we as author would know the material, the content of our books more than they would. Because sometimes they don't even read your books. They will not read your books, and they're asking you questions to try to find out what they're going to use as a marketing ploy for you. And that's where they're going to focus more of their service in marketing the book for you. That's when, if you are paying for that service, you can get some books sold that way through them versus us trying to sell it ourselves or something like that. So it's how they present that to you, how they say it, that terminology. You got to decipher between that once again, how they state things to you.
Yes, and here's the thing, it's the audience. So because there you have your mainstream publishing companies and you have your lower stream, all depends on their audience. And so, just like you said, they'll ask you questions, not fully reading the book, but we'll ask you, and I'm quite sure you've heard this question: tell me what is the highlight behind your story, meaning your book.
Mm-hmm.
Because what they're asking you for is a synopsis of your book. Describe your book to me. What is it that you want to say to your audience? It's not that they have read it and they have collected details to describe the book, but they're asking the author. That's why I said the power ultimately reverts back to the author. What are you saying about your book? And then you can do, that's why I always encourage, have an author's page, promote your book, talk about it in every opportunity that you can. Don't relinquish all of that power to the publishing company because they see numbers. All depends on the size of the publishing company.
Absolutely.
And they, they're only going to give it so much attention. And I'm just being honest.
You are. And that's the stage I'm going through right now. I'm already a published author. I have 5 children's books under my belt, and I just completed my first poetry book, Black History Should Not Be Missed. So with what you're saying, I've noticed that. And so now that's kind of causing me to change the direction of where I want to go now at this point in my life. Because I've already gotten the books published, so that's my milestone, to have my name on the hard copy. That's in my hand.
Right.
Once it's digital and all that, but you want your own product in your hand where you can see it, turn the page, show someone else, talk about it. That's one thing. Now, what about now? I'm business minded now. It's time to sales because I used to give my books away because I'm just proud that I have the product there. And they are good to use in schools, recreational centers, anywhere where children are, anywhere where adults are that can open up discussion to help kids learn some skills. I use them now for the skill for the day through a Zoom process I'm in with an organization that I'm affiliated with, and I use it, each one of those books, as a skill for the day. Now, my mindset is different now. I want to help kids, help youth, even help adults to help youth. But now, with that, how I'm going to do it? So now I got to think about a marketing strategy that I want to use. And like I was telling you, you talk to so many people, everybody offering all types of marketing things, and marketing can become very expensive. So I put out a lot of money in my material because I believe in it. Now, I know I have good products. I know this without a shadow of a doubt. I know it can be used in schools. I know it can be used through a publishing company. I'm looking at traditional publishing company. If I can get a way to get it marketed and pitched to a traditional marketing company, they will see the reality of the usefulness of these books because they can be used. These books will be vital in the educational system. I use it now in the schools. I'm a teacher, and guess what? I have to do read alouds with my kids. I have to teach them and model for them why reading is so important. I can use my own material because I know my material is good. And we open up discussion. I'm telling you, it goes along with the curriculum. It goes along with the lesson. Don't skip a beat. That's why I know the product is awesome and good. So now I'm thinking, well, how can you market this so that I'm doing it for free? I'm not charging anything. But what about me as a business person? I can't continue to do everything for free. Otherwise, you're not earning any income for your business. So So you got to decide what part and portion of this you're going to use for gifts or for sharing and helping, and then what portion you're going to use for your business. And so this is where I'm at now in my life. That's why I'm telling you, as a author, is different when you have reached that milestone of getting the product in hand made versus now what am I gonna do with my material that I have.
And you're absolutely right. And diving into the marketing section also takes you and expands you into the branding part, okay? Because as an author, you are a business and you are a brand. So you then begin to have additional products to go with the brand because your brand is the anti-bullying. So there are different characters in the books with different quotes, okay? So to expand your brand, if you were to have some t-shirts, say of the main character with a quote from the book, okay? Now you have expanded from just the book to a t-shirt, okay?
Right.
Then you take it a step further. You get, say, the canvas bags with just a quote, the name of the book, and one of the quotes, and your name. Okay, now you have 3 products. Take it a step further. You can do custom coasters. That's another product. The bookmarks. So when you, say at a booking event, you're a vendor, you have your book that they purchase. You have other items that they can purchase. A t-shirt, a canvas bag, a custom coaster. Your giveaway would be the different bookmarks with the different quotes on them from the books. You have 5. So do you see how that has expanded you out?
Believe it or not, you and I are always on the same page. I was doing that without even knowing what I was doing.
Yes, that's
I
what you
have t-shirts already made with my anti-bullying Big Bully Bob is the book. Big Bully Bob have t-shirt with Big Bully Bob on it. You know, I'll illustrate the name on that, but the bookmark already made, had those done when I first got it without even knowing. See, now you helping me to even put this in perspective. Once again, like I said, it's a prime example. As you talk to those who are in the know, you learn. And as you learn, you'll know how to refine where you're going, the direction you're going. So now I'm into branding. This is my understanding. I'm into branding,
yes,
and and what's marketing, and I've already started that. So now I need to refine that. Got the t-shirt, have the bookmarkers. I may want to get coasters now. May want to get those canvas bags. See, just talking with you, I'm already learning.
Yes.
This is what I'm telling those new authors. They need to talk to people.
Yes, and let me tell you something. I've been doing the custom coasters for a couple of years. My first assistant, Jeanette, taught me how to do them, and we did them for the bookstore and the shop. And I have actually expanded and have shown the technique or either done them up for my clients as authors. So if you ever want to learn the technique, let me tell you something. It is so easy. It is so fun. So I'm going to tell you what you do. From your pictures that you have on your computer for the book, the images, and you have a quote next to it. You print that, I'm going to say, on a white cardstock, okay? And you can get just the square tiles that they sell in Home Depot. If you don't buy the, what is it called, the Mod Podge, you can actually make it because you know it's glue and water. And you get your image, you cut it down just a little over the edges of the coaster. And you saturate the base with your mixture, the glue and water, and then you affix your picture on that, okay? And you pat it down and you get it to stick. And then you put several layers on there, and you kind of let it dry between layers. Trim your edges, okay? Your image is now there. It's not going anywhere, and you let it dry. I would used to lay mine out in the middle of the floor in a room, let them air dry overnight, and then I would go back and spray adhesive on them. That's how you get your own custom coasters.
Wow. See there?
Okay.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, I do not mind at all. Another thing, the canvas bags. I went to, I'm not sure if you deal with, have you ever ordered from Oriental Trading?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Canvas bags. You can actually, and it's the multicolored ones, you can order a dozen, and they don't cost that much. But you can get the wording on them up to 3 lines, I believe it is, for free. So they can do the wording for free.
Okay.
Now you have custom canvas bags with your the name of your book and a quote and your name.
Wow.
Now when you go and set up at a vendor's event, you have more than just books. You have other products. You already got the t-shirts. There are two other things. You have bookmarks. So now you have some marketing material. You wear your t-shirt
Mm-hmm.
at that event. And if anyone else is there helping to volunteer with you that day, they have it on. And like I said, as they purchase a book at that time, you sign it, you give them a bookmark.
Mm-hmm.
So those are just some of the things that I picked up and I learned along the way, and utilize them and have shared it with other authors that come through. And even when I do a workshop, and you don't necessarily have to be a client. I just in every aspect of my life, I just love to teach, and
Me too,
and
and I don't mind. I'm just like you with that. I don't. Just like now, what we're doing, we're talking and we're sharing information, and it's not costing anyone anything. It's not even costing us really anything, but it's from our hearts. I
right,
don't mind sharing, and so this is what we do. You give and you get.
yes, and sometimes um, companies will hold back that because it's not a sale opportunity. But when I look back and I see that I have shared and I have taught, and they begin to walk in it on their own, that's different for me. And even if they come back and say, you know what, I want to order some of those, well, then that's when it becomes a sale opportunity, but that's not my initial to give someone that information just so that they can say, okay, I want you to make those for me, I want to order them. It is because I'm teaching the branding side. You are a business, you are an entrepreneur, and there is more in you than just writing of the book.
Right. And that's what we as new author have to learn, even as we become a little bit, more into it. You'll learn more along the way, step by step process. You're right.
Yes, 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 yes. So I thank you. Listen, I know that there are some things that you have experienced, that you're still growing. There's so much to learn in the process of realizing that, guess what, this is a business and I need to learn as much as I can, even if I don't want to do the work. At least I know what I should expect, and to me, that's the bottom line. And we thank you so very much for tuning in today to The Balance of Life, as we had an opportunity to talk to author Cynthia Gaston. But don't worry, we do have part two to share with you, continuing in our conversation. Don't forget the back to school drive with Bow Ministry. Go over to www.bowministry.org for details. You can also register for your child if they are in the need of school supplies. There are 4 drop off locations, and this period of distribution of collecting the supplies is from June 21st through July 26th. And the actual pickup date is August 7th. Have a blessed day, everyone. We love you.